Okay, let's put you on the back burner. Let's finish you.
Yes.
Let's finish Keitaro. We are so damn close. We are so damn close.
Everything looks like it's made of gold. I remember the day the Kurabe family took me in. I held Chihiro's hand, and there was a sunset just like this. Chihiro.
Is technically gone.
I don't care who Chihiro says she is. She's still family.
Hey, buddy.
Takatoshi-san. You actually showed up?
That Sentinel belongs to us, doesn't it? Why wouldn't I show up?
You gonna fuck up the government? I'll do it.
So that's where it is, huh?
Yeah, the Sentinels inside that building.
Strange, isn't it? Pretty soon, all this will turn into a battleground. We'll be fighting in a place that's supposedly in the future. This is what we've been training for. Odd circumstances aside, it's an honor to fight using such incredible weapons.
Takatoshi-san, if anything happens to me, could you look after Chihiro?
Don't be stupid! Whenever you're in trouble, I'll always be there. And if it ever looks grim, I'll be the first to take a bullet for you.
Ah, yeah.
And don't get discouraged. No one's going to die.
Alright.
Look at this good boy. Look at good boy Hijiyama.
I want you to show a little more spirit, Keitaro.
Let's go. We're taking back our Sentinel.
That's what I want to hear.
Ah, yeah.
There it is. Just how I remember it. Freeze! Another one?
Where did you get that gun? Where did you get that gun?
He's still alive. I'm using low power shots, but still. Feels like we've given these guys quite the punishment.
Where did you get that gun?
I want to thank you, Takatoshi-san. I couldn't have recovered the Sentinel without your help.
It's still a little too early to be thanking me.
Right. Natsuno-san's already out there fighting. I'd better join her.
Save some action for me, alright? I'll catch up to you soon.
BJ, a different me from a different time. According to him, I should be able to activate the Sentinel now. It worked. Alright, no time to waste. Natsuno-san, can you hear me?
Miura-kun, thank God. I thought it was all over.
Just stay put. I'll be right there.
Okay.
I have to protect my family. And everyone I hold dear, even if it costs me my life.
Oh, that was nice and quick. That was nice and quick. Alright, cool. He's done. Goats. You are... Apart from me, obviously. You're it. You are it, sir. Okay. Okay. Okay, boy. Let's go. Have I only done your prologue? I've only done your prologue. Alright, sir. We're blitzing your shit. We need to see what meddling you've been doing behind the scenes.
It would appear I can no longer rely on Shikishima. Miss Morimura, why did you have to die? Miss Morimura's death has left the Shikishima execs in disarray. Now they won't let me spearhead the Sentinel project. As if I'm just a child. I doubt my opinion will weigh much in their discussions going forward.
I mean, she had to die because you brought Mini Chihiro here.
was pretty quick, Goto-kun.
Ever since the battle that ended with the Sentinels infected, Miss Morimura has been pushing this operation as one of its fiercest supporters. This refers to the humans who can control the UFO's mainframe. Those compatible have nanomachines implanted in their bodies. I checked the corpse at the police station. It was yours, Miss Morimura. There's no doubt about it.
Is that so?
You don't seem too shocked about your death.
Well, it didn't exactly stop me. Here I am, safe and sound.
It's probably because you killed her, you bitch.
I suppose that's true.
So, what did the police say?
The cause of death was a gunshot to the abdominal area. No bullet was found in the body. Though it's easy to imagine why. The murder weapon was likely from beyond this time, beyond material bullets. Estimated time of death is approximately 1900 hours. You were witnessed running off somewhere with a short-haired student. According to a pedestrian's eyewitness account, anyway.
They found a witness. This era's police really did their due diligence.
There should have been that drone tracking her movement. So, anything helpful in its footage?
The timing couldn't have been worse. It looks like it was monitoring the government's movement at the time.
Why are you lying about this?
So she wasn't even under surveillance.
I see.
Any thoughts as to our primary suspect?
You bitch!
An acquaintance of Miss Morimura, described as a short-haired male in a student uniform, most likely A. Sekigahara.
Who do you think did...
Well,
You bitch!
the witness statement matches the description of A. Sekigahara.
It did seem like something was wrong with A. Sekigahara's memories. I wouldn't be surprised if he was our murderer.
Though it raises the question of why he bothered to lure her out. Surely a murderer's optimal scenario is to avoid being spotted at all.
Well, maybe it wasn't premeditated. He could have killed her by accident.
Well, he certainly is the type to brood over things. I can say he's not enough of an idiot to shoot someone on impulse.
Who else could it be? That man with that... call sign? Some numerical name.
Logically speaking, he would naturally be another potential suspect. He did attempt to eradicate all the compatibles. He's a dangerous individual, and he's still at large.
At this point, I believe 426 is just Ida. Like, at this point, because, like it's been clarified. Like, we've basically wrapped it all up, and that 426 is just Juro Izumi. But, like, with how questionable Ida's hidden motive is to do this, I wouldn't be surprised if the game was like, actually, it's him.
All that's left of 426 is his consciousness. I don't think I could reliably predict his behavior. He's desperate enough to do anything. 426 certainly isn't above killing. If Ida-san were here, I'm sure he'd declare 426 our primary suspect.
We know he killed at least 4 people. That's why I shot him dead in the end. If he resurrected himself as an android, maybe that would give him a chance at revenge. As a motive, it sounds pretty clear-cut.
So you believe 426 is the most likely suspect?
Barring A. Sekigahara, who else could it be?
Aside from Miss Morimura and Ida-san, 4 others came here for refuge 16 years ago. By the time I'd started assisting Miss Morimura's efforts, they'd already lost their physical bodies. Fortunately, we were able to use the data stored in Sector 0. This allowed us to meld their replicated consciousness with AI.
Wait, 4 others. Tomy? Tomy? Who else is... Tamao? That's all we know.
As for how they lost their bodies in the first place, reportedly 426 is doing. He destroyed them all in one fell swoop, according to Ida-san's account anyway. But if number 16 is to be believed, that's not what really happened, and Miss Morimura should be aware of that. I spoke with the pilot of Sentinel number 16. Back then, she gave Miss Morimura something nobody else would, the truth.
It's just right at the end. Alright, cool.
We're
So we decided to stick to the plan. We all headed to the gate to escape. But there was an explosion while we were shifting. From what I can tell, the Type 98 we were shifting in got attacked. But that's the last thing I remember. After that, nothing.
That means, is that how your data was damaged? It wasn't some plot by 426 after all? Just an explosion? We never did manage to completely reconstruct your data. I thought it was just that you didn't get converted in time, but you were all dead before the shift even happened. Ida-kun, you said he killed the 4 of them. I know you did. You said he sabotaged them, killed them.
Given the chance, he certainly would have.
You lied to me?
He already tried to kill us all in the past. You know he'd have tried again if we left him alive. Killing him was the right call.
No. That means...
Yeah, Ida's a scumbag, in case you haven't noticed.
I'd like to revisit something you just mentioned, about 426 killing at least 4 individuals. Do you really not remember?
Remember what?
You've read my files, I presume? I gathered quite a lot of material in the past. Most of it is rather outdated, including Ida-san's statement concerning those victims. In other words, your answer is objectively incorrect.
Really? Well, can you blame me?
Kinda.
Look at this body I'm stuck with. I'm bound to have some memories confused. If you have some comment on this form, then by all means.
No. That's not what I meant.
That your form's a bitch. You took the form of a bitch.
Miss Morimura, I have one more question.
What is it?
Regarding 426, would you say you had any particular feelings toward him?
Feelings? Well, he was certainly a good friend. I felt like he really understood me. Well, used to, anyway. Where's this coming from?
That doesn't make sense. According to number 18, or should I say, Tamao-san, I had a hunch about Miss Morimura's feelings.
I do like this. Oh, because Goto's clearly the smart one who writes shit down, we're playing as him, and his shit is just like, alright, let me just check these notes. Let me just check. What did you say? Let me just do some reference, and you're bullshitting. What was that? Let me just check. And survey says no. Okay, cool.
And my discussion with Tamao-san only confirmed my suspicions.
Survey says you're bullshitting me. Computer says no, madam. When did AI Tamao happen, though?
Goto-kun. I'm sorry for this. I know it's sudden. I need to talk to you.
Did something happen?
It's about Morimura-san. She's been transplanting 426's memories onto Juro-kun. I only just found out.
426? As in the escaped android?
No, not that one. She's using the memory data of the man himself. It was saved during the shift.
In other words, she's trying to use Juro to create another 426?
I did my best to talk her down. She's letting me handle Juro-kun's treatment now. Still, I don't think she's given up on this.
Why is she trying to bring back 426?
Well, I've been giving her some advice about it, and I understand where she's coming from, but... Morimura-san is in love with him.
With 426?
Maybe she always has been. That's why she wants him back as a human.
But she has to know the risks. He's a dangerous man.
True, but that's not exactly what she's remembering. Besides, she's the one who killed him. That guilt is still eating at her. Watch over Morimura-san. And try to keep her away from Juro-kun if you can.
I'll keep that in mind.
Thank you. I can barely take the idea of 1426, let alone 2.
This child bullshitting.
So I was right. Miss Morimura did have feelings for someone.
Ah, you got cock blocked by a murderer, did you? I hear you, little lying piece of shit.
When Juro Izumi lost his memories, you aimed to use him to revive 426. Make one a vessel for the other. One reason seems most likely. You harbored romantic feelings for him.
Me? With him? You're joking. That Chihiro Morimura was mind-hacked, remember? You said so yourself. My goodness, romantic feelings? For him? No, God no. Not my cup of tea.
Oh, then what is then, child? That's what makes it weirder. We got a child here telling us about her romantic preferences.
If you recall, I suggested that Miss Morimura was mind-hacked. That idea was based on a certain piece of evidence I found. One particular log.
What log?
I do love this.
Miss Morimura, then you should already know.
I do love this. His entire thing is just like, "Aight, look, bitch. I've been doing all this shit behind the scenes. I have receipts. I know what's going. I have fucking receipts, madam. You try to bullshit me, it ain't gonna end well."
2 years before you were born, Ida-san extracted some information from 426 that in turn led to the discovery of the data log in question.
So why again does this matter?
You're about to find out.
'Cause you're a murderer.
As for the log itself, it contains footage from the year 2188.
I love
It
this.
was found buried in the mainframe data during the analysis of 426.
This is all I wanted from Gouto's story. It's just him answering questions and him just saying like, "No, this happened. This happened. This is what is happening. We've done this because this. These are the answers. Shut the fuck up and listen to me."
You seem very disturbed by me seeing that file. So much so, in fact, that you ended up deleting all of your logs. Would you mind telling me why you did that?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, at the very least, its contents suggested a connection to 426, or even that he had been manipulating Miss Morimura. The log contained a very interesting report. Apparently, Juro Izumi downloaded memories onto Chihiro Morimura's clone.
426 was the one who overwrote my memories? So what does that mean? What are you trying to say? Your Morimura and I are both 426? 426 was the one... So what does that... Your Morimura...
It means you's a bitch. You's a lying ass murderous bitch.
This is Tetsuya Ida. Don't know why I'm recording this. Nobody's going to hear it.
That looks like what I expect from you.
Still, might as well. Not like I have anywhere else to share this. I was in the middle of a routine bug regression test, and I noticed part of the final phase had been altered. The change was made in Chihiro Morimura's host. The setting change looks like it'll trigger a memory overwrite. I don't know anything about the memory's contents, but it says the modifying user was Juro Izumi. Because someone thought it'd be a great idea to give that guy senior admin ID. And at this point, well, what the hell can we do about it? At least now I have proof. You're all hypocrites anyway. Yes, including you, jackass. So who even cares anymore? None of this matters. We're all dead anyway.
Everyone in 2088 or 2188 just seemed like petty assholes.
The log inconveniently revealed one of your secrets. One you were desperate to keep me away from.
Like, all of mankind is in ruins and they're doing what they can to save humanity, but they all just sound like petty assholes. It's ironic that they sound more like children than the child versions of them we play as.
So you deleted it. That's my theory anyway. Remember where this all began? It was the compatibility experiment, the one that produced you. Based off Miss Morimura's footage and your own admissions, I've completely misjudged the situation. All this time, I believed you were her. But even from the very beginning, you've been your own person.
So, what are you saying? I'm not Chihiro Morimura?
Apparently.
If I'm not a duplicate of Chihiro Morimura, then who exactly do you think I am?
Her daughter?
You're Chihiro Morimura.
Well, there you have it.
No, not Miss Morimura, the teacher. Professor Chihiro Morimura. The one from the year 2188.
Oh.
And the central figure of Shikishima's interstellar development project.
Oh. You're the original. Oh. Oh. Okay. She's the original from millions of years ago, back before all this nonsense took place. Okay. That's some bullshit.
Aegis activation confirmed. The terminal is completely sealed off.
Wait, so we just jumped to Judgment Day.
The next terminal is just over there.
What? But he's present for so much of everyone's background, and we're just ignoring all that?
They're already on the move.
Can't even let us catch our breath, huh? I haven't hit my operating limit yet, but I'm going to dismount.
Whoa, hey, then who's taking point?
Pull it together. We don't need orders to kick some ass. You can relax, kids. I'm back in the fight.
I won't be long. It's up to you.
Fine then. Let's roll, Yuki-chan.
Chihiro-san.
Chihiro-san.
Look at that sunset. Just like it was back then. It's beautiful. I'm guessing you were monitoring me with a drone?
I have one locked on to you, yes. Their target's changed. They're coming back this way. It's dangerous here. We need to get you to safety.
Aw, don't tell me you're worried about me. How about you mind your own business?
How about you don't kill people?
You already know how I feel. This is what I wanted.
Still.
You didn't have to kill a bitch, though.
More importantly, can you really afford to waste your time here? Or have you already given up? The invasion is still in its preliminary phase.
I've got time. First, I need to get you somewhere safe.
There are no safe places left. At least, none left for us. We're not safe anywhere. But you know that well enough. You're just losing precious time. Go focus on the job you're supposed to be doing.
Understood. I'll go. You'll find it safer towards the river. If, hypothetically, you wanted to know.
Wait. As long as we're both here, there's something I want to clear up.
That you killed Morimura for no actual benefit?
So, tell me,
You're a murderer?
you were in love with Miss Morimura, weren't you?
And you killed her.
You said she was mind-hacked. But it was more about you being jealous, wasn't it?
That's hardly...
This may be our last chance to talk. Answer me.
You are correct. Is that what you wanted to hear? That that I was driven by some cheap, naive impulse? That I can't think about anything else?
And that's why you brought back my memory too, isn't it? You never cared how you managed to do it. You just wanted her back.
So much.
I'm glad. You really were a slave to your desires. That's the Renya Gouto I remember. It means I don't have to like you after all. Thank you. I think that's all I wanted to hear.
Okay.
Professor,
You should go. After all, we still have our bet. Although it looks like I'm about to win it.
Is this it for Goto? This can't be it. All his shit in the background, is this all he gets? I'm gonna be upset if it is.
What's wrong? Did you get separated from your mommy? Could you leave me alone? It's dangerous out here. Just come with me, okay? Will you just... What are you... Don't worry. If you can't find your mommy, I can help you look. We just have to run away right now, okay? Oh, there you are, Miura. Hasami-chan! I'm so glad you're okay.
This is set during one of the fights.
So reckless.
I remember this. Okay.
Shouldn't have come this way.
Kisaragi, that girl is...
I know already. I'll get back to the battle once Miwako's safe. Is someone else here? Of course not. Never mind. The evacuation route's that way. Can I bring her too? Hey! That's fine, just hurry up.
Okay, good. He gets more. I was gonna be angry. Fists, hands would be thrown game if that's all he gets. Despite the bullshit he's done in the background on everyone's story.
Strange. I know this is my first time here, but this suddenly makes me feel so... nostalgic.
Sunsets will do that, I find. Regardless of time period.
Yes, but... this must be... well, I suppose it must be one of those places. So? Where am I going?
I've rented an apartment under a false name.
Can't be any worse than our last accommodations. As long as it's not Rebel, I'll take it.
My apologies. If it's any comfort, I'm certain nobody will find you there. Not Shikishima, and certainly not Miss Morimura. I suppose we have Ida-san to thank for all this. The funds and paperwork he prepared were invaluable.
So, is this set before this? Is this... I guess this is before this?
Tetsuya Ida. And he's still missing, is he?
Yes. Let's go.
Adorable little murderer.
Chihiro-san,
Adorable little science murderer.
You think I'm the professor?
Yes. Oh, okay, so it's just looped. It's just
That's
looped.
what I said. You were Professor Chihiro Morimura, a major figure in Shikishima in the year 2188. Namely, the leader of its space initiative.
What are you even talking about?
Just some hypotheticals. A possible interpretation of the evidence I found.
And also that everyone's genetically predisposed apart from you, I've noticed.
Ever since the battle that ended with the Sentinels infected, Miss Morimura has been...
No, that's just redoing. Alright.
Okay, say I am the professor.
You are?
Remember, Miss Morimura is the one who created me.
Yeah, but Juro replaced the memories.
That was her plan? She wanted a host for the professor and not herself?
No, Izumi.
How would that make sense?
Because Izumi did it, bitch.
Miss Morimura ran an experiment to grant her clone compatibility. She believed that you were synchronized to her. She believed it was her own data she transmitted. But it was the other Chihiro Morimura in Sector 0. And of course, you entered the world as a newborn, incapable of verbal communication. So Miss Morimura never realized her mistake.
This is all speculation.
Certainly, yes. But if I'm right, and you are the professor, I imagine you were in quite a panic yourself. All things considered, it was a staggering deviation from the original plan.
What original plan?
Among the logs from 2188, one of Tetsuya Ida's noted that he'd found an anomaly. Chihiro Morimura was set to undergo a memory transplant in the final phase. And the final phase, well, that would be us.
I don't know where you think you're going with this.
A bit of patience, please. There's a little more context I need to provide.
Thank you, I like context. I like context in my stories.
The log from the future I saw first. That would be the comms log I found with my own ID. The first log I checked held some surprises. The author seemed to be an elderly Renya Gouto. And the date of recording appeared to be 2188. I assumed it was some future version of myself. One that had time traveled into the far future. But now, I don't think that's the case. I believe it's the other way around. In other words, I myself am a clone of him. Every individual I saw in that log footage, they all created clones of themselves.
Clones, huh?
I did find a log that proves this point.
What did you see?
A comms log between you and Professor Takamiya. Her field is genetic engineering, I note.
I am so glad this is here. Answers. My man got receipts.
Professor Takamiya, how are the projections on those self-replicating probes? The simulations look good. Especially the survey range. We never expected a rate of expansion that high. It was definitely the right call to prioritize its strength as a group over individual units. These probes are pretty much living machines now. They self-replicate using natural resources mined from asteroids in their routing. They'll just keep building up and breaking down. An infinite cycle of self-replication on its way to its target. There's basically zero chance of the tech failing midway through. They'll just keep on going. Probably long after humanity's gone. Glad I came to an expert then. All that's left is the refinement of the memory cube.
The who?
Infrastructural storage cell, right? The cube's made up of 5 identical memory layers. In theory, it'll compare itself to nearby probes and use them as a
can't be repaired, well... Fine, one probe down. We've got thousands more. And our passengers? I'll be loading them up with the DNA of all the survivors. I've already got samples and data from all 15. Now it's just down to launching them. These clones will go with all our hopes on their shoulders. By the way, what do we do about him? I mean, after that DNA test. We do nothing. He doesn't have to know. What can I even say to him? Not much, I guess.
What? Whose DNA test showed what? I'd like an answer to that, madam.
There were 15 survivors of that colony, each with a clone established to be compatible. Though they grew up in different eras, different worlds. And you aimed to replace your clone's memories with your own. That was your real plan. Right now, I imagine your biggest question is precisely how much of that log I've seen. Am I close? You do have a genius mind, but also the form of a child. I imagine it's harder than usual to hide your agitation.
It's absolutely not. Now you're just trying to trick me?
I'm sure. This mini murder bitch.
I'd say, based on that log, Professors Takamiya and Morimura seem to know each other quite well. Maybe you know something about that.
Of course not.
Then perhaps instead, Tsukasa Okino? Being compatible, that makes one part of his identity clear. He's one of the 15 from the year 2188. So, any theories? Who was he in the year 2188?
I don't know, but I'd like to know.
Care to guess?
Stop it.
No? Then allow me to clarify.
Please do.
That boy, Tsukasa Okino, is Professor Chihiro Morimura's son.
That explains so much, actually. That actually explains a lot. Okay. Alright.
But not her child by personal conventional birth.
What?
The professor donated her egg cells as a young woman, in accordance with the policies on population control.
What?
No comment at this time? Their blood relation wasn't exactly obvious, until DNA testing on the clone revealed it.
Oh.
The professor was faced with the truth. He was her son, which naturally sparked an inconvenient surge of maternal instinct. However, Okino himself didn't think highly of the professor. He had his disagreements with the project staff, too. When it seemed like her end was near, the professor recorded him one final message. One last chance for him to know the truth.
Oh boy. Okay. Well then.
Saw that? But how? You'd need a biometric ID match to access that log. So you should only have been able to access your own. My logs and Okino's should have been locked off.
Thank you, Professor Morimura.
Nah. Bitch got played.
Indeed, the files I could access were somewhat limited. Mostly company logs. Meeting reports, call transcripts, bureaucratic chaff. Barely anything in the way of your personal records.
Then, how do you know what was in my logs?
It's simple, really.
Is it? Is it simple, really, Gouto?
That should do it for preparations. Now, let's see if the biometric authentication works.
You see, I thought the answer was going to be he just got Iori to do it, but nah, okay.
Looks like that got me past the initial barrier at least. Now, with Miss Morimura's ID, I should be able to get into her logs.
How did you get her biometric ID, though? Oh, okay. I was on track to think he got Iori to do it, but the question, this did not. When she was out cold before he, okay, when he found her in the future, before taking her back, he did this.
Maybe if I check Miss Morimura's logs, I might find a clue why your biometric ID matches hers.
Look at this clever boy.
It really is her ID.
Iori Fuyusaka?
Though unconscious, she proved very helpful. She is Chihiro Morimura, a compatible version. If you really are Miss Morimura, then you should already know who Iori Fuyusaka is. Because that would mean you hid her here in Sector 4. The plan was for the two newborns to grow up with their own separate lives. Ida-san's idea, presumably. Chihiro Morimura was planned to be placed in 2104, and Tetsuya Ida in 2024. Yet neither could be found.
I knew Renya Gouto of Shikishima pretty well. You and he are very different.
Oh.
Except that you both make my life a lot harder. So, suppose I am the professor. Then what?
I want to know the truth. I want to know the reasons behind all of this. But that seems unlikely. I imagine you're not inclined to tell me anything.
And why's that?
It'd be inconvenient for you if we had all the facts. Considering you're trying to eliminate us.
Nani?
From the very beginning,
Nani?
we never intended for this world to survive.
Why? No, don't to be continued me. Why? You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. How dare you? God. It answers so many questions, but at the same time it also creates more. And there you have the audacity to leave it there. Alright, well, back to combat we go.